Hey, what's up? It's Rashad Antonio. We are the Upon Further Review, The Penguin on HBO, episode number two. What's the name of the episode?
Um, the name of this
The
episode starts with
Inside
Side
Man. I
Man.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember. All spoilers, man.
Also, that's a great movie too.
It is.
Clive Owen.
Clive
Yeah.
Owens. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we be knowing stuff
man.
other
We be
than just,
knowing
just,
stuff.
just franchise shenanigans we be on. Yeah, gotta
Hmm.
talk about the thing to talk about the thing. And as I was watching this episode last night, by the way, if you're watching it on Max, you have to actually click on HBO to get to the newest episode. And I didn't
Really?
know that. Yeah, I was like
Okay.
on Max, like refresh, refresh. I said, let me go to HBO. But anyway,
Hmm.
I have one word for this episode.
Go for it. Let me hear it. Speak on it.
Tense. This episode was
Yes.
so tense.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, our boy Oswald Cobb was when I mean he was tap dancing the entire time, trying to get in and out of trouble.
Hmm.
Yo, I mean, I was like, God, can we release some of this tension? It was like, nah, yo.
Oh,
We smack you in the face with this tension today, yo.
right. Yeah.
It was a good episode though.
Yeah, man. Like you said, that is a very good one word description of this episode tense for you. I think for me, my my one word would be mm, betrayal.
Hmm. Definitely.
Betrayal. uh,
Damn, that's the
I
yeah.
mean, I think both are top tier of what this, put them together.
I
Tense
mean,
betrayal.
it was definitely tense because it was a lot of betrayal going on.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. So I, all right, yo. I feel like this is gonna be best said just chronologically because
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. All right, just start from the top, Tony.
Okay. So we start off with we see Sophia. She is it's like a flashback kind of where she's locked up. Her hair is down instead of like tied up, and it's longer than what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Even when it's down, she's in an orange and white jumpsuit, and she's in Arkham Asylum. It looks like, and it's like she's being marched through and everything. And then they put her in a room and she sees her brother, Alberto, behind a glass, like it's a visiting room or something like that. But, the glass is right there. And they're talking and he's like, it's going to be okay type stuff. And he puts his hand up on the pane glass, but you see that pinky finger's missing. And she's like, hey, what happened to your finger? And he's like, what? What? And then all of a sudden, she sees behind a person. You don't see the face. You see basically like from the chest down, gun, and they gun him down. And she is screaming, hollering. And then you see a red light strobing, just strobing across. And kind of find out she's in her therapist's office or whatever. Um, I believe that's the character Juice from Sons of Anarchy or
That is
whatever.
that is also
Also
Shades
from Daredevil.
and Luke Cage. Yeah.
Luke Cage, yeah, Daredevil, Luke Cage. Yeah, yeah, Luke Cage mainly. So
Shout out Theo Rossi. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, he's her and he's trying like to calm her down, and she's like, don't touch me. And like she's about to lose her freaking mind. And she's just like, yeah, and she's just like going, and he like gets his arms around her and holds her, and he's just like, he says, start to count back, count. And she's, I guess, counting in her head, and he's like, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe. He's calming her down. And then she finally gets up. It's like, don't you touch me, type stuff or whatever, like that.
Quick aside, I just want to say
Mm-hmm.
that if you're ever in therapy and your therapist gets up to hug you to calm you down, you should not be with that therapist anymore.
Yeah.
That is a clear
He has a
boundary that you should not
what?
be having. You shouldn't be your therapist is
What?
not to hug you. This isn't okay. This isn't Iyanla Van Zant fix my life. You know what I'm saying? This ain't that. That's not how this that's again,
No,
she got a
that
real
yeah,
therapist. And that's
yeah.
not how therapy really works in the real world. So I hate when they do that portrayal of therapy
Mm-hmm.
on the show. That's just a I'm sorry, quick aside from
No,
that.
you good, Playboy. So yeah, because like they were looking at each other eyes, and you could tell he had feelings for her.
It felt a little it felt again, it felt very much the stereotypical this is my client, but you know what I'm saying? If she
But
give up these crazy draws, I would definitely hit that.
yeah,
And
I will definitely clap.
I hate that trope. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know who
You
did that last?
who's that?
On one of those was it I feel like it was on that Netflix show on one of the Defenders Netflix shows.
Oh, was it Jessica?
Yeah.
But also too, man, it's like
It's
nigga,
just
we seen this in DC Comics with Harley Quinn and the Joker.
it's just a
You
played out
know,
trope. I'm sorry. Go
yeah, no,
ahead,
you
sir.
could, get your rain on, bro. So, so she was like, yeah, whatever, get your hands off it. And he's like, hey, we need to finish this therapy session. And you see that the red strobing light was something in his office, I guess, kind of to help her go sedated and go into her little experience. And he was like, yo, what did you see? And she was like, yeah, whatever. I gotta get, basically like kind of like, I gotta get out of here type thing. And she's like, she just storms out the therapist's office, and she didn't tell him that she saw her brother's die, and she's just hell bent on, avenging her brother's death. So
Yeah.
then so then we cut to Oz outside of a prison, Blackgate prison, and he goes to visit Salvatore Maroni again. And this time Maroni is there with his wife, who's an Iranian with Nadia, if I'm not mistaken. I believe her name was Nadia.
Yeah.
Nadia, and another guy with them. I don't know if that's their
Yeah,
son or
that's his son.
that's his son. Okay, cool. So it's funny because Salvatore Maroni, this is a big change from in the comics. He's Italian. So, he's part of the Italian mob, but it seems as if he's more ingratiated himself with his wife that we later find out who's part of like the Persian mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the Persian, because she was talking about, hey, like, we do things different type thing or whatever. And they're talking to Oz, and Salvatore's like, hey man, I don't appreciate you setting me up like I killed this dude here. And then he was like, so you're not gonna act like you're gonna take the credit for it, to make sure y'all name's still out in the street. And they're like, man, what the hell you want? What the thing's like, all right, yeah, cool. What the hell you want or whatever. So Oz basically is like, look, I am all about trying to double cross the Falcons, here. You know what I'm saying, do this. And he was like, this is how we gonna do it. They told me get out the warehouse, and we're transporting all of the drops. And so for those of y'all that might confuse what drops are, the drops is their version of the drugs in this story. But the thing is, it's like eye drops, and that's how they get high, by like, using it as eye drops in their eye. I said that just sounds horrible and disgusting and dangerous all at the same time or whatever.
It does. It sounds worse than the drugs in RoboCop 2.
Nuclear, yeah, whatever. Man, we both. I said, damn, they getting that good hit. How that thing falling it down. So he says, hey, we gonna set it up where, we're moving this shipment, and the first car is going to be basically like some people in there. Basically, Sophia's like number one right-hand man. For those of y'all who know who that is, he's Lorenzo Tejada in Power Book 2. So he's gonna get set. And they say, yo, you shoot that thing up. Then the second, vehicle is going to actually be a FEMA truck. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's been disaster in the area. So
right. and the barrels is where they're gonna put the drops. He said the third vehicle is gonna be where I'm at inside that SUV. Don't shoot that SUV up. Just the first SUV and the FEMA truck. That's what y'all need to do. And they're like, all right, bet, cool. And they go along with it. So you see Oz walking around in his warehouse talking. He talks to the dude that's Sophia's right-hand man and said, hey, man, no hard feelings. Just let you know that we good. Meantime, he's setting this dude up to get murked the whole time. Next thing you know, who shows up? Vidi. Vidi is the dude that's the acting underboss of the Falcone family. And he's like, hey, yo, what you doing moving all this stuff? So he was like, hey, you told me get it out of here, so we just gonna get it, get it up out of here. They start and he was like, oh, this your plan? You need to be inside the truck. And you see Penguin like, Oz is like, what the And like, he's like, God, I can't even contact these people to be like, hey, scratch that. Don't shoot up the truck. Just shoot up them 2 SUVs. So he gets in the truck and nobody can tell, but he's nervous. He's sitting there looking around and they're taking the path. And he sees in the rearview mirror where Salvatore Maroni's men are going to ambush them under an underpath. Next thing you know, he pulls up, he sees them, and they're talking and telling jokes in the truck. And so to make sure he don't get shot in the crossfire in the front cabin of the truck, he goes in the back of the truck, be like, yo, let me tell you a real joke so you don't get shot. They started shooting up. They shot up the driver. They shoot up the daggone SUV in the front. Oz hits the deck. But before he do that, he take out the guards in the back. And then, all hell is kind of breaking loose. Maroni people, one of his men that was there in the prison that he knew about the plan, came in and he was about to start shooting the back. I was like, whoa, chill. They made me switch, type thing. And then the driver was like, Oz, you traitor. And he was like, and Oz said, shut up. And he shot, and the other guy shot him too. Shot, the Maroni dude. So Oz is just sitting there like, yo, after some out here. And so he gets out and like he's shooting at like Maroni people, and he's kind of getting little shots off at some of the Falcone people.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, we got to get out of here. And they leave. We get back to the Falcone estate. What is going on? Who's pulls up is Sophia. And like everybody is arguing. She walks in, she sees the armored guards, and she see people, they talking like, yeah, man, if it weren't for Oz, we would be dead. They hyping Oz up, hyping each other up, like, yeah, man, we did that. F the Maronis and stuff. And then she goes into the room where it's a big argument between Vidi, Oz, and now the new acting boss of the family, what's his name? Luca, which is Carmine Falcone's little brother. And Sophia's sitting there and she's like, y'all sitting here worried about product because the product got taken by the Maroni family. Y'all worried about product. We find out who killed my brother. And they like, hey, yo, beat it, chick. We don't need to, stereotypical, macho mafia people or gang people ain't trying to hear what no woman got to say or whatever.
Yeah, it was Vidi, because Vidi was like, look, yo, shut up, say your place, yo. Well, I don't know why you even talking right now. And then Luca was like, hey, like, relax.
That's
still my niece. That's family. Mm-hmm. And then he essentially like low-key admonishes him and then was like, hey, so kind of ask her opinion. And she's like, man, we should be out here in these streets trying to figure out who murdered my brother. And then Falcone was like, well, in due time.
Right. Because everybody knows Alberto was a screw up. They knew he was a crackhead. They didn't care about him for real. Yeah, he was an alkie and he was a drophead, as they called him. They didn't care about him. They was like, well, you know what? You know what it was like? It was like in The Godfather 2 when they got rid of Fredo. He was a loose end.
Yeah.
A family that had to go. But she loved him so much because he kind of kept tabs on her when she was locked up in the loony bin known as Arkham Asylum. And so it's funny because Oz is telling Luca, like, hey, is there anything else I could do? He's like, yeah, you've done enough. Because they're blaming Oz for their hit. But Oz is like, yo, y'all ain't give us better cover. You said move the stuff, and look, it's nothing here for me to move this street and whatever. And he's talking his way out of it. So,
I mean, like, and on the real, like, he really wasn't wrong. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
he wasn't. He definitely wasn't. He definitely wasn't wrong. So, because he's like, yo, some of my people got killed too, and all that. So, Sophia, like I said, is still pissed off about that, and Oz tries to talk to Sophia. She's listening to him, but she's not really trying to hear him because she knows what he is, he's capable of to that extent. So what happens is we see Oz and our old boy Vic go back to Oz's crib.
Yo,
They
hold
got
up. Don't forget Luca and Sophia talked too.
yeah,
And
and he
she was
told
like,
her,
he said, hey man, how about you just chill out?
mm-hmm,
We bury your brother tomorrow.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? Let's focus on let's focus on the funeral. You know what I'm saying? Put all your energy there and we'll figure everything else out afterwards. And she was like, she calmed down, was like, all right, cool.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so she calms down or whatever. She is like, cool, we gonna rest my brother, but I don't like the fact that y'all being like, you could tell she ain't like the fact they being like real willy-nilly with, not trying to find out
Oh
who
yeah,
popped
yeah, yeah.
Alberto. So you see, like I said, you see Oz and Victor going back to the spot. They got food and all this stuff like that, and they're talking. And Oz is doing mainly the talk. He's like, "They can kick me out, push me out." And Victor just sitting there like, "Hey, I'm just with you, my guy. Whatever, type thing with the food and stuff." So basically, Oz, they get there and they take the food out the bag, and Oz like chastises it. There's a cilantro crap up here. Picking out the tacos. He got these tacos because he's having like a party for some of his loyal men and like the prostitutes and the chick the chick that we saw in the first one, prostitute that he kind of hate. You can tell he had feelings for Eve or whatever. And so she can tell something is wrong. And it's funny because Oz is like, hey, come here, Victor. And Victor kept looking at his phone because somebody was texting him back. So Gabriella,
yeah. Probably his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying?
Right, girlfriend and stuff. He's like, hey,
yo, did you peep what time it was?
No, what time?
It was 2:45 in the morning.
Oh wow, that is on my way to work. Let me stop too.
Yo, that's early, yo, or that's late, depending on
you know what I'm saying. Right. So he's like, hey man, come on over here. I want to introduce you to somebody. And one of the, I guess, the prostitutes came and he recognized the girl, was like, oh, you got, I guess, their version of OnlyFans. He said, you got like an OnlyFans type thing. And she's like, yeah, I don't really do anything crazy up there. I just, foot stuff, other type of kinks, sometimes cake play. I said, that is hilarious. And he was like, yeah, y'all should talk. And he was like, don't worry, you can't afford her. That's what he told this victim about the chick. That is wild. So, they're just talking, and she's like, how do you know Oz? And he's like, I'm his and he's stuttering and everything. And
she's man, like, nervous.
Yes, sir. He's nervous. I know why you're nervous too. In the meantime, Oz goes into his bedroom, which is a vault door on it, while everybody else is out there partying. And then Eve finally goes in there and was like, yo, Oz, what the hell is going on here? And they're just having a conversation, and he's like, look here, I'm just trying to do this, like he's trying to be the big dog, but whatever.
Like yeah, this is for us.
Mm-hmm,
you know what I'm saying? She was like, look, yo, you put me and my girl on harm's way with your little alibi. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, the last thing I need to have is Sophia Falcone ringing my doorbell. You know what I'm saying?
Because everybody knows how crazy Sophia Falcone is. Yo. They know she is a nut job.
And also the fact that she killed 7 women.
Right.
Like, and we don't even and they haven't disclosed why at all.
Why exactly?
You know what I'm saying? We just know she killed 7 women. Quick aside too, when he goes in the room, he's looking at the pictures from VD clapping Falcone's on Luca's
Yeah.
wife cheeks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm about to have these in my back pocket because
Mm-hmm.
those definitely come up a little bit later.
Yeah. So yeah. So he was like talking to her and they kind of have an affectionate moment or whatever, and they end up having sex. We don't
I'm
really
like,
see
did
scene.
yo, like, did you see this man foot? You know what I'm saying? Like, you cool with that?
Rashad, you like,
Uh,
girl, you are too fine to be messing with this man and his
yo,
foot. You
that man foot look like LeBron foot. You ever seen LeBron foot? Oh my god, yo.
it's toes on top of toes, and then
Yeah,
it's
Nike did him
swelled.
wrong, man. Like
Yeah,
he should have made his niggas wider. Because
yeah,
he
right.
tells the wiggle space. Anyway,
That's why I'm not a fan of LeBron shoes, by the way.
yeah, them joints
I
is
have some, but them janks are
narrow. Yeah,
narrow, and
very narrow.
I have ogre feet. So yeah, we
Nah,
ain't
yeah, yeah.
doing
Nah. You gotta buy like two sizes up to put them hoes on. All
yeah,
right,
for
anyway.
real.
So it's morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to the funeral. On the way to the funeral, they get dressed and everything. And then what's she call it? Oz gets a call.
Mm-hmm.
So they hightail it over to the other side of town to check on moms.
And the Volvo again. So that means
Yeah, yeah.
they
Oh,
did
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
did the 3 train jump, and then went to go in the
Like
Volvo.
in the like they about to go to the funeral. So
Mm-hmm.
get to the house, mom's is tripping, and we see like the Spanish landlord is like, look, yo, they speak in Spanish, like, fam, like, I understand what's going on, but like her dementia is getting worse. She was just outside talking about she trying to go to mass, and she got on like a sequence dress. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just a lot. He was like, man, like this is getting a lot for me. Like you may want to like put her in a home. And Oz was like, I pay you to keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
Pills
Because
pills off a couple of hundreds. You know what I'm saying?
he's the landlord of the house. That's the thing.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's it.
he's not a caretaker. He's not
Yeah.
he did not sign up for that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he's like,
And
look, man, I need like you're gonna have to figure this out because I can't keep doing this. Like she was outside, no jacket. It's winter time, obviously. And he's like, fam, I need you to square this away. Oz is like, bastard. I pay you to keep an eye on her. I'm gonna give you an extra couple $100 while I'm here, and we're gonna keep this arrangement going because he doesn't want to see his mom's in her home. And plus, in when she comes to rather, she always is talking the most trash to him.
yeah,
and
she
and
is.
and unfortunately that's just the relationship that he understands, and that's the motivation that he has. You know what I'm saying? Because he
Mm-hmm.
was like, yeah, I know, mom. Basically, before they left out the house, like make something of myself. And even in between that, um, the the um the landlord walk out the house, and your boy Vic is there. He talks to Vic and said, man, like, who are you? He's up here time to drive or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells Vic in Spanish to be careful. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Which was like definitely
Yeah.
foreshadowing, you know what I'm saying, what's going to
Yeah.
happen later on.
Also, too, I love the call back to where Oz speaks Spanish fluidly because you saw he was having that conversation.
Yeah, he was.
He was having that conversation with the landlord order, and that goes back to the Batman with the whole was it Alarata
Yeah.
Alarata thing that happened, and he was like, "You idiots, learn your Spanish." He like played
He
Batman and
said, What are you talking about? A flying rat? That's a bat, stupid. You know what I'm
a
saying?
bat,
Like,
you idiot.
yeah.
And so he talked to his mother, and once again his mother is just like out of it, and he puts on like a jazz album, and he like, come on, mom, dance with me. He's dancing with her and stuff, and she's still kind of talking trash to him, but Oz love, he a mama's boy, and he's accepting it, whatever. He's like, don't worry, mom, everything is under control. Vic has to remind Oz like, hey, this
Funeral.
funeral is getting started now. Next thing you know, we see them pulling up in the plum Maserati. The funeral is over, and everyone is peeling out, but he comes out, and there's like people protesting the Falcone like
Yeah.
funeral.
You still see some of the people who was down with the Rilla outside with the Rilla
Mm-hmm.
signs and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you see like, and you see like Oz is just looking around. He's trying to find somebody, and he sees Luca, and he's trying to hand Luca over the photos in a folder to set up Vidi. Luca was like, yeah, okay, keep it moving. He won't trying to see nothing. And he was like, damn. And so then what does he see? He's surveying the scene. He sees Sophia from a window, and she's just like away from everybody. So he goes up and he talks to Sophia, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And earlier they had a conversation in the show where he basically was saying, like, they're trying to boot you out, like you and me know that. He was like, they don't want you around. They think you crazy because you was in the nut house. I said, yo, Penguin, be easy, yo, because this chick
trying to find line.
Right. And she's looking at him like kind of like twitch a little bit, like she want to do something, but she understands. And she's like, he was like, yeah, you don't want to be around these people and stuff. She's like, yeah, just too many people type that, it's a triggering for her. And he's like, look, I'm on your side. She was like, well, why are you trying to be loyal to me? You trying to save your own self? And he's like, hey man, look, man, your pops like me, this and that. I don't know what's going on. They trying to run me out. You see what happened with the setup and all this stuff like that. And he was like, cool. So next thing you know, in the meantime, while that was going on too earlier, Sophia meets with a cop detective who is a drophead and an alcoholic. He in the bar trying to, come on, man, give me something. My man, the bartender was like, dude, we don't have nothing ever since the flood. He said, he's like, you don't get mad at me. You've been mad at somebody, blame the Riddler. That's what he told me. He said, blame the Riddler. And so, Sophia meets with him, is like, hey, what's good, my guy? And he's like, no, I worked for your father, not you. Your father ain't here no more. And she was like, oh, we know you're hurting here. We need you to find out what's going on, because we think there's a mole in the family because of how everything was set up with, saying them taking our drops things. And she said, you find the mole, we're going to find out who killed my brother.
Yo, it was funny, right? Because they set him up so lovely, gave him some money. He was like, I don't really want this money. He said, oh, I know what you want. You want some drops, don't you? Bodyguard was like, oh, you want to do it right here? Go ahead.
Yeah. I was like, this. He was like,
he was looking like that Shannon Sharp meme, drinking a Mountain Dew.
Oh boy, yeah, that's what he was sitting there looking like.
He was like, shit, I got y'all. I'll do anything I want.
Yeah, right. And so during that conversation at the end of the funeral, where Oz is interrupted because her right-hand man comes with the phone call.
Yeah, but that conversation is important because it gets to it. Oz, he is a seed sower because he knows enough he knows, okay, I love a person that knows when and when not to talk.
Yes.
And Oz says, look, I'm going to share this very sad story to relate in trauma. You know what I'm saying? He talk about his mom, also talk about how both his brothers were killed. We don't know how yet. You know what I'm saying? But we know both of them are dead. He's the last son, literally, because he was youngest. And talking about how his mom's was sad and it was depressed in the house. And he went to she finally got up one day, went to the jazz club and they danced. And she was like, you dance with your mom? Because I was thinking that too. He was like, hey, it was like whatever, because I'm just glad she got out of bed and that, you know what I'm saying, introduced to the live music and how excited he was. So so just planting these seeds of like, we have a shared trauma, you know what I'm saying? And then he was like, yeah, but it's okay. Sophia said, do you think that was because of you or because of her? And he was like, man, I'll never know. And she passed away a few years ago. I'm like, yo, this dude right here be lying.
Right. Because that's why he goes through that trouble to make sure nobody knows his mother. Yeah, he said that. I said, You just left your mama
You just
house,
left
yo.
your mama house.
Because remember too, Sophia, because how lying he is, Sophia was like, he went to Sophia, he walked up to Sophia. Oh, it was a beautiful service. She said, I didn't see you. I was in the
He
back.
said, I was like, I didn't know you was looking for me. I
He
said,
said,
oh my
I didn't know
God.
you was looking for me. He said, I didn't know you were looking for me. He said, I was in the
I
back,
said, this
just
dude
stay
is
out of the way.
hilarious, man.
Yeah, hey, he is. So, like I said, she gets a phone call and she's like, gotta go. And then Penguin gets a text message from Maroni's wife, Nadia. We need to meet now. So first thing we see is back at the Falcone estate, the corrupt officer they gave the drops to, he pulls up in this truck, in this car. It's like, what I got here? Pops the trunk. It's the Maroni dude that knew about the plan with Oz, but he was like in the hospital, and he was like, yeah, so I morphined him up. I said, drop this dude. I morphined him up, got him out here. And she's like, what the hell? This is the memorial for my brother. What do you? He was like, she said, I told you, give me information. Hey, couldn't really do that. He got all the information. It's going to wear off in a few, take him down, talk to him, and see what happens or whatever. And then, like, she tells her right hand man, yo, get this dude. All right, take him down the basement. Start asking some questions and see what happens. In the meantime, Oz meets with Maroni's wife, son, and them. And she's like, so we got a problem. You lied. And he said, hold on, plans change or whatever. And she's like, yeah, they stole our guy and they have him right now. And if he says anything, it's going to mess up your plans or whatever. And it was like, so what do we need you for? He was like, well, and they like, whatever. She said, us Persians, we do things a little bit different. She snapped her fingers. They was about to stab and kill this dude in the hotel lobby, Rashad. Did you see that nonsense?
Oh, yeah. They was not playing no games with him.
He said, yo, whoa.
Tony, they said. Straight up for the knife to him, like.
Yeah. He was like, whoa, chill. Like, hey, and he's telling them, like, look here. He said, pocket of my jacket. She's like, what? Pocket of my jacket. Get it. And so they put out, it's the folder. And she's like, what is this? Take a look. And open it up. He said, yeah, that's Vidi. Sleeping with Luca's wife. He says, Luca's wife. You can use that as leverage and stuff, saying, and blackmail and stuff, whatever like that. And he was like, and she was like, okay, yeah. What about our guy? He was like, I could try to get him out, but she's like, yeah, you better get him out before, he spills it or says anything that, that
incriminates us,
incriminates us and with the plan and whatnot. So Penguin has also another idea because he's trying to blackmail Vidi. He's trying to take people out in the Falcone organization one at a time, and he got his attention on Vidi right now. Yeah. He also has the diamonds, remember, that he took from the vault, from the club, and he was going to plant those diamonds in Vidi's car. So he's talking to Vic while Vic is driving, was like, yeah, man, we got to be careful. Like, so we could be going into our own deaths or whatever right here. And then Vic is like, should we even be here? And he's like, hey, man, you don't avoid something like this. You just keep going. I said, this nigga. Right.
He said, hey, you feel that? I said, yeah, you need that. I'm like, yo,
this dude is getting a rush.
Like, I was like, I don't need all this tension. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Vic about to piss his pants. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, he can't even talk. He like, he can't even talk. He's like, yeah. He said, so what you're gonna do? You're gonna look for the red. What's a red Mercedes or something like that, right? And he says you're gonna plant it in there. He says, be easy. Make sure you do that so we can get them. So Oz gets inside, and he's looking around, but before he's looking around, but before that, we see Sophia. She walks in there where all the people are. They're serving. It's like the repast for the black folk.
Definitely at repass.
They serving champagne, food, and like everyone
They
is
got like
looking at
cigars.
cigar. Right, yeah, like good cigars too. And everybody is looking at Sophia when she walks in. It was like, who let this crazy half out? Because we also saw earlier how they talked about she was in a car with her man and they were talking about on the radio how Gotham is going to hell in a handbasket. Crime is up 42%. I said, good God. And then it was like, yeah, they just letting people out of Arkham like the hangman, because that is what they referred to Sophia as. And the dude was like, you don't need to hear this about time. She says, no, keep it up. And they're just talking about how they let her crazy ass out of Arkham. And everybody's just looking like, oh Lord, don't make no sudden moves. This shit. And she knows everyone is looking. And then she proceeds to eat the hors d'oeuvres, Rashad, like she ate the food when she had the lunch with the she grabbed like some stuff and she started ramming it in her mouth. And she looked around and saw they were looking. And she was just, and so she just went full blown rogue and said, F it. It took a whole nother handful and was just ramming it. And people were looking like, Jesus Christ.
Savage.
You savage. Meantime, she's texting her right-hand man the whole time. Like, has he said anything? No, he ain't really said nothing. He's starting to come to a little bit, just a little bit longer or whatever. And Oz is like, he's scoping the scene, making sure to see where everybody is. And he finds out and he sees that she's on the phone with her right-hand man.
Yeah.
And he realizes that the guy is down in the basement. So Oz is like, I'm gonna do this. How I'm gonna make this play. And he says, bet. So he goes over to Vidi and Vidi's little right-hand man in the fire and was like, hey, and it was like, not. He says, look, I know what y'all doing. And he was like, what are you? No, I know what y'all doing. Cool. We ain't got to talk about it here. He was like, what are you talking about? He was like, yeah. So he says, yeah. Sophia got, one of Maroni's guys down in the basement, and they about to start torturing him to get information about. And they said, what? And he was like, it's cool if y'all, say y'all don't want to tell me about it, but I already know. And he was like, he said, I'm gonna lie about for that. And they like, and then Vita kind of was like, this is that is something this bitch would do. So he sees them going to find Luca and to find out what's going on. And Penguin is like, yeah, I see that. And did you notice too that he did get referred to as the Penguin by Vidi?
Yeah, because they don't like him.
Yeah, earlier. And so Vidi and them are like talking with Sophia's main dude, and Oz makes his way down to the basement and sees the Maroni cat like handcuffed to the boiler room, and he's coming to, and he's like, hey, he's smacking him in the face. Look here. Hey, it's me. He says, when they come and question you, he says, the only way to get you out of here is this. He says, tell them that Vidi is the one that was your contact and was the one that shot her. And he's like, yeah. He says, no, listen to me. Listen. He's like, listen, wake your druggy ass up right there. And he's like, yeah, okay, cool. In the process of that going on, Vic gets caught opening up the door, trying to get inside Vidi's car to plant the diamonds. And Vidi's driver was like, hey, what are you doing here? He's like, hey, it's cool. I'm a driver. He says, I heard the alarm going off or whatever. And they was like, bring your ass here, kid. And he dips like Usain Bolt with the diamonds. And he's at the time. So then he's calling Penguin. I'm stuttering, can't get it out. He was like, I couldn't do it. No, I couldn't. He's like, kid, you're supposed to, nah. And so he looked and was like, all right. Where you at now? He's up high behind a tree. That was the funniest thing. He's up high behind a tree. And he was like, yeah, okay. And so Penguin looks, and the guys start to come too. He was like, I got you. Vidi did it. He says, hey, look, man, plans change. Things happen. Sorry. Covers his mouth and stabs this dude with a pocket knife to death in his little robe and stuff or whatever.
And it was a really slow death.
Because he was digging and like kind of twisting.
That was like a very not so sharp knife.
Yeah. And so that's going on. Luca is upstairs, like digging into Sophia, what are
Yeah.
you doing bringing them here and on your brother's thing? She says, I'm trying to get information. He's going to give information about who knows who the leak is, who's Smole, who's doing. And he's like, all right, fine. Let's go ahead on down here and see what the hell is going on. But before he did that, he told his men, round up everybody that was on that, shipment run. Everybody else get out of here. And so the Penguin, he's able to clean off his knife, and he puts the knife in his pocket, and he slips out. And you see that one of the guards snatched Penguin up, and he's like, hey, what's going on? Where am I going? And he takes him in the room. Sophia and Luca go down into the basement, and they see my man dead. And Sophia's like, see, I told you, the mole is here. They killed him. So, you know what I'm saying? So somebody's here. So they're in there, and Luca is going nuts. With strip him, pat him down. Anybody got a weapon? That's the person. Anybody got a knife or blade or something? They're the person. And Penguin is like, oh shit. And so he's looking like what? And he's pet. I think at that point he thinks, yo, that's it for me. But then a ray of light happens. They drag Vidi in, because remember, he was a part of that trade too. And then Penguin just says, hey, he says, this is your fault, isn't it? You the mole. He was like, what are you talking? You the one that gave the route. You set me and my guys up. And Penguin acts like he's fighting him and grabs it. Then you see, because then you see like
so Sophia's bodyguard
come over, and somehow some stuff happened. Some slip of the hand happened.
Yeah. Some Chris Angel mind freak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So next thing you know, they pat down that guy, and they're like, whoa, hold on real quick.
Got a knife.
They got a knife on him. They said, here's the killer. He said, hey, that ain't my knife. I don't know. Whoa, relax. That ain't my knife. And Sophia she was like, I trusted you. You killed my brother. He's like, no, I am loyal to your crazy ass. No, like, I'm here for you. And then she's like, she looks at the guard and was like, give me your gun. Give me your gun. And she's snapping, like spazzing. Give me your gun. Give me your gun. Lucas says, bah, 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 bah. Shoot up the dude, puts the gun back in his back pocket, walks away.
How far were they from the repass? Because like, I know people heard somebody getting shot. Like,
they had to have heard it. They had to. I understand that the Falcone estate is a big mansion. They had to have heard, because it's echoey.
I was like, yo, hold on, yo. Isn't repass still going on? Or they just kick everybody and say everybody go home? Like, I was like, yo.
I was confused. I ain't gonna lie about
that. Wasn't no silence on that gun or nothing. It's just straight up.
And I mean, look, blah, 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 you know, it's so after that happened, you see Oz kind of like, like, yeah. Next thing you know, you cut to Sophia. That was my kill. I should have killed him. Like, she's going up. And he's like, relax. That's your guy. We got him. And then he tells her as well, look here.
Hey.
I think you need to go on vacation. You remember you used to spend the summers in Como? Also, we saw something earlier where we saw like was that Luke? That wasn't Luca's wife. It was it was one of their cousins who saw her and was like, "Oh my God, Sophia, girl, it's so good to see."
Speaking of the tension, like that scene encapsulates just how everybody feels, because they was like on some BS. Like, she was on, her cousin was on some BS. So I was like, yo, we should go on a girls trip. She was like,
a girls trip?
Girls trip?
She said, you remember we went to Como, the Italian boys? You know, we was busting it open for them Italian boys. I mean, basically, that's what she was.
Yeah, said it's right in front of her kid too. And then and then like a bow was messed up in her daughter's hair. She's like, oh, I'll fix it. And she was like, no, I got it. And then she looked at him and said, nah, I got it.
She's like, well, this your daughter? She was like, yeah. And she was like, she says, I'm your mother's cousin. And then she's like, fixing it. And then she was just like, oh, such a lovely daughter. You know, things happen to women in this family. I said, she did.
Make sure you protect her.
Make sure you protect her. I said, no, this crazy heifer did not just threaten this woman and her daughter in her face, because every time Sophia got close, that chick was pulling her daughter in closer, like, keep your crazy ass away.
But that's where they messed up, because instead
Mm-hmm.
of embracing her, everybody was like, yo,
They've alienated her
yeah,
completely.
yeah. That's why she was
Mm-hmm.
eating that pasta salad all crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
she was. And so, like, she's pissed.
She's playing it up too.
Uh-huh.
Oh, y'all
So
think
she
I'm crazy. I'm about to be crazy all the
said,
time.
crazy. I'm gonna show you crazy. I'll show you crazy. You want crazy. And so, like, Uncle Luca is telling her, hey, man, look here. Go ahead on your trip. Stay out of here, man. Just, we got things handled. Hey, we didn't kill the guy that killed you, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. And so, so then we cut to Oz. He out in the woods. He's like, man, I gotta take shit from Vidi. He says, gotta. So he's burying
Not even that.
uh,
Oz and and Sophia meet up, right? Was that
I think
after?
that was after.
Yeah,
That was
okay,
after.
go ahead.
Because
My bad.
remember
Go ahead.
could remember,
got to go. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
because
My
remember
bad.
he was like, okay, he said he had Victor digging the graves for these guys, dumping their bodies in there.
Oh,
And then next thing you know, Oz like completely like loses it. And he's teaching this kid a valuable lesson. If he wants to be in this game. And he's Oz is a sociopath, but he's teaching, putting his kid up on knowledge. He said the kid was like, yeah, he said the kid tried to climb out. He says, no, lay down. The kid was like, lay down next to him. And he says, look at him, look at him. He said, that could have been you. That could have been me. I almost got killed because of you not doing the thing with the diamonds. The hell is wrong with you? Type thing. And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, like, and he's like, kid, you gotta think. You gotta be able to think. You gotta think steps ahead. You gotta be on your toes. You gotta do this. You have to be prepared to do anything. So he was like, you got it? Man, come on out this damn hole.
And on the real, like that was kind of the theme of that episode is you got to be quick on your feet, and like that was my whole thought. Other than just to be intense, is like,
yeah,
even though he got a bad foot, Penguin is quick on his feet.
Yeah, his mind is very sharp on it or whatever. So so Vic is burying the guys up, and the phone ring. It's Sophia. And we cut to Sophia in, like, I guess the Falcone mausoleum.
Yeah, very, very fancy.
Yeah, with the graves, you know what I'm saying, with the
mom, dad, and
headstones,
brother.
mom, dad, and the brother or whatever right there. And so he comes in and they're having a conversation. And basically she's like, yeah, they don't want me here, but I want this. I should be in charge. Just like how he told her. He told her she should. And they're talking, and then she just looks at him and said, are you with me? And then here is the call back. He looks dead at her and said, let's dance. End of the episode. And that reference was to how him and his mother went dancing after that. Man, this show is so freaking good, yo, for real. And I know there are people who are probably watching this like, this is a Batman. Don't even think of this as a Batman show. Don't think about the fantasticalness of the penguins that we have seen and stuff. This is like a crime, lower level mob show, and seeing how this man is rising to the top. One thing I have noticed about the show, and I thought about this, but one of my coworkers said the same thing to me when she saw the first episode and she loves it. She says that she can see where a lot of some Sopranos has been, you know, saying,
oh yeah, it's heavily influenced
by the Sopranos. And she made a good point. She said she feels that Colin Farrell character has used a lot of influence from the Sopranos, from the characters of Paulie and Silvio or whatever. And I said, yo, I can see it. And I especially saw Paulie in the episode, in the pilot episode, when he shot at the kids and he caught Vic, and Vic was like, I'm sorry, study. He was like, Jesus Christ, kid, God, you know what I'm saying? Like, settle down. And it's And then too, even on the new rock stars YouTube channel, they even kind of made some like soprano, saying that the
Yeah,
Penguin has like a Tony Soprano feel to him
yeah,
as
definitely.
far as
I, I,
that. Yeah, man.
I thought we said that.
We may have, I don't
Feel
know,
feels like we hit.
we
Yeah, it feels
have.
like I felt like we said this is like a real like like gangster type
Yeah,
crime
man.
drama. And yo, another funny tidbit. Guess who's doing the music for this show?
Who's that?
I didn't even know this was a person. Mick Giacchino, Michael Giacchino's brother.
All in the family, yo, man. Just musical
As I
and
was looking
genius.
at the wiki, right, just like scrolling
Uh-huh.
up, like I was
Uh-huh.
like, "Hey, who the hell is Mick Giacchino? This
Mick.
is brother." You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he
Yeah.
has a he has a brother who's also a composer. You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's
that's crazy.
interesting. Nah,
It'll
man,
be,
this was another amazing episode of television.
yeah, man.
This is what this is like the type of stuff that I really love to watch, man. It's
Yeah.
just a strong show. I mean, on the real, wasn't hardly any action, just
Yeah.
a bunch of dialogue and
Yes.
people and machinations. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, to be really honest, that's what a lot of stuff is like missing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is like it's just the whole like character development
Mm-hmm.
and showing characters interacting and why we care about them, why we don't care about them,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just like having people in situations and like they die or something happens. Like, man, don't even know who this person was in the first place. Like, it doesn't
Right.
matter.
Right.
And
Because I mean, the Penguin, is a bad guy,
that's what I was
but you
struggling with
care.
that last night. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm glad you mentioned that. I was like, after I
Yeah.
finished watching, I said, ooh, that was tense. And I was like, I'm really on the Penguin side, but like, I shouldn't be because he bad too. It's like everybody sucks equally. You know what I'm saying?
And that goes back into like with the Sopranos. Tony Soprano was a horrible human being, but we cared and loved about him. And it goes to show you how pissed off people are, what, almost 20 some odd years later, about how the show ended.
True.
You know what
Very
I'm saying?
true.
And it seems as if that's how they're doing this.
Don't
Just
stop believing.
triggering. Every time I hear it, so triggering. Also, too, it has been confirmed for the Batman Part 2 that Colin Farrell will reprise his role as the Penguin in
This
that. So
leads right into the Batman
yeah,
2 as
right,
well.
to
So
the
yeah,
Batman 2.
and
So
that ain't
yeah,
coming
man.
out till 2026 because
Yeah. Yeah.
strikes. But nah, man, like this show is good. Speaking of something else that's good, that is The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime. We are at the finale episode. Man, I gotta shout out Threads, man.
Yeah.
I posted something this weekend. That show last time I checked was at like 64K views. So
Yeah.
like, shout out to y'all. Like, I just need y'all to stop following. I know y'all be looking and
Yeah.
liking. I need y'all to stop
Yeah.
following myself
Yeah. Come
Threads.
on.
But yeah, also on the other stuff as well, man. But Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power,
Mm-hmm.
season 2 finale. Of course, we'll be reviewing that,
Uh-huh.
as well as Agatha All Along,
Episode 4 coming up.
episode 4, which is another very interesting series. Like, they're doing a really good job of having some intrigue and just actually changes to it being regular television, which was definitely for the better for these MCU television division
Right.
of Marvel
Right.
over
Yeah.
there. But nah, man,
Yeah.
well, you got some good stuff going on right now. You got anything else?
No, man, that's really about it. I know y'all watch this too for the movie tips. Nothing really tickling my fancy, as
Nah,
they
yo, you know
say.
what's funny though? Like
Uh,
Megalopolis dropped somewhere because people are trying to review it. I'm hearing
so
crazy reviews about that
so
as well.
I can tell you that right now. Everyone I've heard, and even our entertainment reporter at my job, say the movie is horrible. They're saying that this movie sucks. Like, and they're saying it's just so hard to believe that
Francis Ford Coppola.
oh yeah, the man who did The Godfather done something like this that is true. It debuted at number 6 in the theaters, yo.
Yeah.
debuted at number 6, and everywhere I've looked and turned, it's bad. It's just not a good movie. A movie that I've heard some decent to good things about is Transformers One. I'm tempted to go see it. I don't know. I might just wait until it's streaming in about 2 months. So yeah,
For real,
it's going to
yo.
be streaming in about 2 months. But I think, like I said, I think for me and Rashad, the next probably movie that we're interested in probably is going to be Gladiator. If I'm not mistaken, that's the only one I can think of.
It comes out
Right
November,
now,
right?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
it's
week.
Gladiator, definitely.
Thanks Gladiator. So, you know, oh my God, I saw the trailer for the Ryan Coogler movie, Sinner,
Bro.
bro. I was so excited thinking that this is gonna be a late end of the year. No, we gotta wait till March of next year for that movie to come out. I am
Tony.
here
I
for
just want
it.
I just want y'all to recognize that Ryan Coogler is that dude.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
Ryan Coogler's that
yes.
dude. Like y'all can't not y'all not really messing with
Mm-hmm.
the what other duos we have for like director actor, like what Scorsese DiCaprio or what
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
I
I
mean
mean, on the real, Michael B. Jordan and Coogler are like Snoop and Dre in the '90s,
I
yo.
mean
For
like what
real,
Adam
for real.
McKay and Will Ferrell. You know what I'm saying?
I'm, at,
Like
yeah,
they
you
really be
know.
amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
Uh,
All right, yo. That's it for this one, man. We will catch you guys Thursday,
Thursday, yes.
7 p.m. Agatha all along. As
Mm-hmm.
always, following next Friday at noon with the
For
finale
now,
for Rings of
rings,
Power.
them rings.
Till next time.
Peace out, yo.